honored graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, family members, friends, thank you for being here today. Welcome to the University of Tennessee Haslam College of Business Graduate Program's hooding ceremony for spring 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin today's ceremonies, please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the University of Tennessee Air Force ROTC and the singing of our national anthem. Gentlemen, we invite you to remove your caps during this portion of our ceremony. Leading us in the national anthem is Mr. Joel Brown. Thank you. Please be seated. And Joel, thank you for that rendition of the national anthem. That was beautiful. As we begin our ceremony today, we wish to recognize Dr. Dixie Thompson, Dean of the Graduate School, who is here to help us honor our graduates. Dean Thompson, thank you for joining us. We extend a particularly warm welcome to parents, spouses, friends, children, and extended family of our graduates. While our graduates will walk across the stage, receive their graduate hood, and in due course, their graduate diploma, we fully recognize that you were with them throughout this process, that you too have paid a price for this degree, that you too had to make sacrifices for your loved one to accomplish that which we celebrate today. So while your name is not on the diploma, please accept our thanks for your role in making today possible. We also want to recognize our faculty and staff who played important roles in the education of today's graduates. In our college mission statement, we speak of being a community that is devoted to supporting learning through the creation, sharing, and application of knowledge. Within our vision statement, we speak of inspiring students, challenging the status quo, driving change, and transforming the world in concert with our friends, our students, and other partners. It is through the combined efforts of the Haslam College faculty and staff that this largely occurs. To each faculty and staff member here present today, thank you for your contributions to the students whose accomplishments we celebrate. Hooding or graduation ceremonies such as these are frequently referred to as commencement exercises. The word commencement can be used to denote either an ending to something or a beginning of something. The word is appropriate today in both of those usages. Today, our graduates end or complete their graduate degree program, and they begin a new chapter in their professional lives. Similarly, today they end their formal student status and they begin their alumni status. Above all, today is a celebration of accomplishment and unlimited potential. There truly is no door that is closed as a result of a business degree from the University of Tennessee. One has only to look at the achievements of more than 50,000 living alums of this college. They are accomplishing things of note and acclaim all across the globe. We look forward with anticipation to hearing news of the various ways in which this year's graduates impact individuals, organizations, and the communities in which they will reside. We are very proud of this year's graduating class. We, along with them, are honored to be Tennessee volunteers. It is now my pleasure to introduce Professor Bruce Bain, Deloitte Professor in Accounting and Associate Dean for Graduate and Executive Education Programs. Bruce?
It's my great privilege today to introduce our graduation speaker, Joanna Baum. With over 25 years of experience in cybersecurity, Joanna Baum thrives on thinking big. As the CEO and founder of Atlanta-based Strategic Security Solutions, S3, she drives cybersecurity initiatives for some of the world's most respected and well-known companies. With the launch of S3, Joanna created a people-first organization that values the whole employee and utilizes a sample and sustainability approach to security. A staunch advocate for women in technology and leadership, she serves as both a mentor and an advocate through involvement in the Women's Leadership Collective, Leaders on Leadership, and the EOX Young Entrepreneur Program. As a two-time alum of the University of Tennessee, Joanna fully embraces the torchbearer philosophy of lighting the way. She is a dedicated volunteer for women and children who are victims of trauma and for special needs programs in support of her son's rare genetic neuromuscular disorder. As a thought leader and cybersecurity influencer, Joanna's persistent and authentic dialogue about work and life balance has been featured in the Washington Post, Forbes, numerous technology publications, and her first personal favorite, Career Day Press at her children's elementary school. It's my great pleasure to introduce Joanna Baum.
Good afternoon. I actually just had to take my watch off because it was constantly reminding me that I needed to relax, that I appeared to be under an unusual amount of stress. So I'll take that hint and I ditch the watch. Thank you, Dr. Bain, distinguished faculty, family, friends. It's truly such an honor to be here with you today. Nothing really dates you more, though, than hearing your own bio. Really, truly, it does. Years ago, I attended an Accounting Stars dinner with one of my closest friends, our CTO, Paul Kohler. Dr. Carcello was giving an incredible intro, and Paul threw an elbow and said, I think he's talking about you. I had no idea. It took another few minutes, and I realized, I think he's right. Am I supposed to stand up? I had really had no idea. And hearing about myself really felt like an out-of-body experience, especially since 9 minutes ago in my head, I was right here. I was sitting out there, and sadly, full disclosure, and my apologies if anyone looks this up, I have no idea who the speaker was. So I really hope I'm more entertaining today. But 9 minutes, 9. That's about the amount of time that I have to inspire, to motivate, and to challenge you before, frankly, you start getting a little antsy and wonder when it's gonna end. So it's a tall order, 9 minutes, but I'll give it a whirl. When I was in your seat, here wearing my graduation regalia, I vividly recall promising my father, next time I came back to UT, it was to get hooded. I wanted a PhD. This was the first in a long line of failures, I would say, or perhaps the beginning of a long line of lessons. Lessons to challenge my definition of success, which is what I'd like to do here today. Back to that failed PhD run, several of the professors here, I'm not gonna name any names, actually advised me against it. The general sentiment from almost everyone, unanimously, was academia is not for you. This really isn't your path. And honestly, neither are 3 degrees from the same university, but I gave up the dream for a moment, but standing here in robes, feeling like the dream might still be alive. At the time, I didn't know I'd still come back here a lot, to teach, to recruit, to listen, to learn, to advise, to advocate. Begrudgingly, I'm willing to admit it's been a little bit longer than 9 minutes, but taking a look in the rear view mirror, the family, friends, and loved ones here with you remember every step of the journey to today. I still remember my twins, now 10, wearing a tiny cap and gown for their preschool graduation in a cage match over who was gonna cross the stage first. 10 years ago, they were born. 10 years from now, they'll be just shy of sitting here with you today, which as a parent is just unfathomable to me. So thinking about that, the growth you've had here at UT is incredible, but all in, it's simply the beginning, just the foundation. I remember being at Thompson Bowling, not waiting for the doors to open, but kicking them down, screaming and running into the world full speed. I was like a 5-foot-tall Usain Bolt, but I had no idea where I was going. It was completely uncharted territory, but I was chasing success like an elite athlete, 24/7, 365. I had lofty goals, but zero comprehension of what success looked like for me. I was chasing someone else's vision. Hindsight, I can't say I truly defined it for myself. My grandfather had this hilarious phrase that if you're out there and you've got something, you're gonna get somewhere. So I surely thought I had something. I knew if I just kept moving, I had to get somewhere, but I had not defined any of those things, which seem now fairly critical. After graduating UT twice, I went into public accounting, sadly with no intention of staying in accounting. But I knew it was a destination, at least, or a stopover to something that led to this imaginary elusive success. I quickly moved to consulting, and while I loved it, it was my first truly heavy and painful dose of what chasing success really looked like. As a young audit team member, I literally lugged a very large and oversized trunk and waited with that padlock trunk in oversized baggage, again, because the youngest person of the team always carried the trunk. I was the first to attempt to even transfer from audit to consulting. As a young consultant, I actually packed my manager's bags. I've been nearly abducted in another country, lost and stranded in a lot of other countries, and I didn't have any money, or wait for it, we had no phones. No phones. I've been sick across the globe. I missed promotions, I missed raises, because I didn't really understand how much office politics was part of the equation. I also didn't know that having ovaries would stop my career progression or people from wanting to work with me. or would result in getting boardroom doors slammed right in my face. I had personal trauma that almost stopped my story altogether. There are things in your life that will change the fabric of who you are, the fabric of your humanity forever. Those things can either motivate or destroy you. For me, each of those instances were an intersection. I've had great traditional success. I've had 3 amazing children, or I still have 3 amazing children. I've traveled to places I never expected to see. I created and grew a security practice for one of the largest consulting firms on the globe. I started a company. I've given keynote speeches, technical discussions, been on sales win stages, and in countless boardrooms. I checked the boxes. I was chasing that success. But I've also lost. I've lost a lot. It was not easy having those 3 kids, and they're amazing, but it definitely wasn't easy raising them alone. Anyone who is a working parent who has 3 children with a stomach virus, while they also have a stomach virus, feels like there should be a statue erected in your yard for simply surviving the stomach virus. I've had to walk away from opportunities because I thought I wasn't ready. I walked away from opportunities because it just wasn't time. I left that really successful global security practice to start my company when only one person told me it was a good idea. Everyone else thought I had lost my mind. I've physically fallen off stages. Luckily, not like this one, and I thought when there was a podium, it was because somebody had seen the video where I had ejected off of the stage. I lost a shoe and launched over the stage. But I got really great speaker scores, and they did invite me back, so I feel pretty good about that. But I've crashed and burned in speeches. I've been kicked out of at least one boardroom that I recall. That did make for a really long return flight, but it has happened. Now, I've taken down a few servers. As a leader in IT, also probably not my finest moment. But before every one of those situations, every one of those wins and losses, there was an opportunity, a question, a decision point. Today, you're on the precipice of infinite possibilities, with a multitude of variables to define success, but one constant: you. Opportunity might knock. You might not recognize the door. A multitude of doors will open. Different places, by different people, with different challenges, different opportunities. My standard break the mold response is, if I can't find a door, I'm gonna grab a saw. I'll create my own door. But I've learned the hard way that brute force also doesn't solve every problem. That probably started here, within these walls, as my professors challenged me not to regurgitate, but to create a solution to an unsolvable problem, to create my own path. Zero chance when I started the firm 17 years ago, I thought I would be standing here. Sometimes the doors that open will enrage you. I'm not a fan of no-win scenarios, but I've been in a lot of them, too many to count. There's also a possibility you want every door, and a strong chance when the road forks, none of them look great. But your journey to this point and your education here prepares you for those moments when success stalls, or when it's time to redefine. What does each of those decisions look like stacked up to your goals? Changing directions isn't failure, it's understanding your end game. Change is absolutely inevitable, but growth, that's entirely optional. Knowing the right thing to do is expensive. It's expensive, and nobody talks about that. It's also ridiculously challenging, and it might be unpopular, but it's still the right thing to do. This odd dichotomy of impulsivity and then analysis paralysis will kick in. You'll have to seek people out for support, and you'll also need to extract people from your life. But recognizing the difference is really where you'll truly excel. The lessons you learned here are the launching point to that success. But what you do next, that's all on you. You will always need support. I know my sister is here, so I have to repeat that because I'm a mule. You will always need support. I know that lesson well because I don't take it very well. When it comes to advice, seek that counsel wisely, like when they tell you you need support. The famous mantra says, feed your hopes and dreams, but starve your fear and doubt. As the perpetual inquisitive child, I'd say doubt and fear deserve respect. They come from experience, but neutralizing them with an action plan gets far better results. I came to this campus 29 years ago. 29. I have 2 degrees in math-related subjects. I continued to do that math like I hadn't done it correctly. But I had 9 minutes here to be the torchbearer that this university taught me to be. For far too long, my definition of success was defined by somebody else. Today, you embark on the next steps of an amazing journey. Be tenacious, be bold, be loud, be relentless in the pursuit of that dream. Just make sure it's your own. Thank you so much. Dr. Bain, esteemed faculty, family, graduates, congratulations. This was such an honor.
Johanna, thank you for your advice. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being such a great representative of UT and of the Haslam College of Business. And thank you for adding commencement speaker to that list of accomplishments with us today. It's now time to recognize our graduates individually through their receipt of the graduate hood. Hooding is a centuries-old tradition symbolic of the passing of knowledge from professor to student. I'd like to invite Bruce Bain, Lane Morris, and John Bell to take their places on stage as we honor our graduates. Professor Bell serves as the Supply Chain Management Department head, also the Niedert Professor of Supply Chain Management, and the Nancy and David McKinney Faculty Research Fellows. That's a lot of titles there, John.
It's ridiculous.
And he will begin our recognition by presenting today's full-time MBA students.
Thank you, Steve. It's my honor to present the full-time MBA and MBA dual degree graduates for the class of 2022. And we'll start with Jordan Danielle Walker. Oh. We'll let them come forward first. Jordan Danielle Walker. Haley Lou Pittner. Chapel Reed Rice. From the Tri-Continent Supply Chain Management Program, Lynn Karaku. It's now my privilege to turn over the podium to Dr. Robert Fuller, who serves as the Graduate Director for the Master of Accountancy Program and EY Professor of Accounting, who will begin our recognition presenting today's Master of Accountancy students.
All right, thank you, John. It is now my honor to present the Master of Accountancy graduates for the class of 2022. Luis Acudero, Knoxville, Tennessee. Wesley Averett, White Pine, Tennessee. Julian Andrew Baines, Nashville, Tennessee. Adam Scott Bednowitz, Nashville, Tennessee. John Allen Bell, Dallas, Texas. Bryce Berryman, Knoxville, Tennessee. Daniel Patrick Bess, Irwin, Tennessee. Anna Marie Brantley, Knoxville, Tennessee. James Stephen Brown, Memphis, Tennessee. Matthew Jason Brown, Louisville, Tennessee. William Hunter Brown, Gainsborough, Tennessee. Ethan Thomas Cadu, Maryville, Tennessee. John Carter Campbell, Clarksville, Tennessee. Evangelina Maria Carmesino, Knoxville, Tennessee. Jesse Castle, Loudon, Tennessee. Jacob Glenn Cook, Knoxville, Tennessee. Bryce Sidney Kreger, El Dorado Hills, California. Sidney Noel Crow, Franklin, Tennessee. Audrey J. Duncan, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Megan Patricia Enesser, Dallas, Georgia. Andrew Favreau, Knoxville, Tennessee. Alicia Nicole Fuller, Knoxville, Tennessee. Rachel Olivia Fusen, Smithville, Tennessee. Matthew Golden, Knoxville, Tennessee. Morgan Joanne Gupton, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Caroline Dabney Hadley, Clarksville, Tennessee. Allison Marie Harper, Rockford, Tennessee. William Price Holder, Winchester, Tennessee. Sarah Virginia Holt, Knoxville, Tennessee. William Jackson Hounshell, Sevierville, Tennessee. Oops. Gotcha. Kayla Marie House, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Elliot Jackson, Marietta, Georgia. Matthew Cole Jackson, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Dylan Daniel Johnson, Jamesburg, New Jersey. Christopher Bryant Jones, Kingsport, Tennessee. Sydney Grace Kist, Springville, Tennessee. Anthony Owen Cranis, Clemens, North Carolina. Cindy Eileen Kite, Knoxville, Tennessee. Madison Elizabeth Lay, Oneida, Tennessee. Hannah Grace Leong, Germantown, Tennessee. Haley Rose Luzak, Crossville, Tennessee. Sean Patrick McGarrell, Morristown, Tennessee. Taylor McMullen, Lakeland, Florida. Nellie Martin, Knoxville, Tennessee. Megan Alexis Moats, Lenore City, Tennessee. Emily Grace Myers, Nashville, Tennessee. John Park, Brentwood, Tennessee. Zachary Allen P., Readyville, Tennessee. Christopher Stephen Perez, Troy, Illinois. Faith Powell, Nashville, Tennessee. Nayland John Ross Prince, Morristown, Tennessee. Sheena Marie Qualls, Knoxville, Tennessee. Madison Claire Roden, Winchester, Tennessee. Mitchell Ryan Rodell, Elgin, Illinois. Carly Marie Rushing, Franklin, Tennessee. Morgan Olivia Riles, Spring Hill, Tennessee. Lillian Claire Schneider, Knoxville, Tennessee. Madeline Ruth Scott, Kingsport, Tennessee. Jackson Sexton, Knoxville, Tennessee. Madeline Shelby Seymour, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Jason Patrick Smith, Knoxville, Tennessee. Tyler Smith, Nolensville, Tennessee. Josie Spivey, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Cody Jacob Squires, Munford, Tennessee. Caitlin Dakota Steele, Chapmansboro, Tennessee. Margaret Lynn Sturenberg, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Michael Joseph Tarantino, Knoxville, Tennessee. Aryan Tavanapur, Nashville, Tennessee. Madeline Marie Thomas, Collierville, Tennessee. Nathan Patrick Wade, Seymour, Tennessee. Thomas Whitmire Wagner, Memphis, Tennessee. Waverly Wynn Whiston, San Diego, California. Parker McLean Wilkins, Kingsport, Tennessee. James Chase Wyatt, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Linda Jung, Cleveland, Tennessee. Taylor Alexander Zukowski, Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Thank you. It is now my privilege to turn the podium over to Cheryl Barksdale, who serves as Distinguished Lecturer and former Director of the Master of Science in Management and Health and Human Resources Program, Department of Management and Entrepreneurship.
Good afternoon. It is now my honor to present the Master of Science in Management and Human Resources graduates for the class of 2022. Nicole Ewer Kanji, Knoxville, Tennessee. Kirsten Carlisle, Newfield, New York. Douglas Neal Collins, Knoxville, Tennessee. Emily Elizabeth Easter, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Mallory Elizabeth Guzik, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Barney Ryan Jane, Brentwood, Tennessee. Carlos Arimez McAllister, Tupelo, Mississippi. Megan Elizabeth Coble Martin, Maryville, Tennessee. Emma K. Mozolf, Knoxville, Tennessee. Angelica Machkuski, Blountsville, Tennessee. Laura Peck, Knoxville, Tennessee. Kendra Duncan Rains, Harrogate, Tennessee. Brianna Runnels, Bakersfield, California. Jessica Ann Rupnarine, Tarpon Springs, Florida. Pamela Sanchez, Ooltewah, Tennessee. Laura Sloan Roop, Farragut, Tennessee. Mara Danielle Webster, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Toby Colin Wilson, Brentwood, Tennessee. Jared Nathan Worsham, Knoxville, Tennessee. It is now my privilege to turn the podium over to Missy Bowers, who serves as the Beeman Professor in Business, Department of Business Analytics and Statistics.
It is now my honor to present the Masters of Science in Business Analytics graduates for the class of 2022. Lauren Olivia Beavers, Cleveland, Tennessee. Livia Jewel Bedwell, Memphis, Tennessee. Kevin Allen Bellafuel, Woodstock, Georgia. Andrew Thomas Franklin Kate, Brentwood, Tennessee. Yanni Chen, Qinghai Province, China. Noah G-Man Chu, Knoxville, Tennessee. Alexander Dario Cooper, Knoxville, Tennessee. Aaron Dittmer, Spring Hill, Tennessee. Harrison Eller, Memphis, Tennessee. Cole Felix, Franklin, Tennessee. Jacob Matthew Ford, Knoxville, Tennessee. Austin Garrett, Lebanon, Tennessee. Venkat Varun Gundapunidi, India. Jacob Heinrich, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Janice Francis Higdon, Knoxville, Tennessee. Evan Michael Hoover, Germantown, Tennessee. Matthew Ryan Love, Knoxville, Tennessee. Marissa Maria Medina, Knoxville, Tennessee. Bennett Houston Miller, Memphis, Tennessee. Modasina Seema Afros Mine, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Patrick O'Connor, Middlesbrough, England. Abby Lynn Painter, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Rebecca Ann Percy, Trussville, Alabama. Thoa Kate Pham, Vietnam. Aiden Thomas Phelan, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Caleb Dale Robertson, Birmingham, Alabama. Vivian Ava Shanta, Kecskemét, Hungary. Baker Marie Sinsing, Burns. Jake Riley Tollison, Cleveland, Tennessee. Vedrina Vujic, Antioch, Tennessee. Jacob Lehigh Wade, Knoxville, Tennessee. It is now my privilege to turn the podium back to John Bell.
It's my honor to present the Master of Science in Supply Chain Management online graduates for 2022. Starting with Joseph Anthony Alfini, Palace Park. Richard James Bellion, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Norma Susanna Blofield, Columbus, Indiana. Thomas Hunter Boykin, Collierville, Tennessee. Amanda Brewer Thompson, Memphis, Tennessee. William Lee Butterworth, Godletsville, Tennessee. Kevin Frederick Casper, Orland Park, Illinois. Hunter Harrison, Jackson, Tennessee. Jared H. Herring, Memphis, Tennessee. Catherine Clark Jostworth, Charlotte, North Carolina. Colby Jennings Knox, Knoxville, Tennessee. John Robert Knox, Knoxville, Tennessee. Jeffrey Thomas McCulley, Cordova, Tennessee. Dino Muftick, Knoxville, Tennessee. Morgan Monroe Nichols, Houston, Texas. Fingling O, China. Austin Matthew Wiegand, Nashville, Tennessee. Will you join me in a round of applause for all of today's master's degree recipients? Okay, I'd like to now invite Dr. Chad Autry, Associate Dean for Research and Faculty and the R. Stanley Bowden II Research Fellow, and our FedEx Corporation Endowed Professor of Supply Chain to come to the podium and introduce today's PhD degree hooding.
Congratulations, everyone. The doctoral degree is the terminal credential offered by a university. Granted to only a few select candidates each year, it represents not only complete mastery of an intellectual domain, but also a demonstrated capability to generate new and unique contributions to a knowledge base of the candidate's field. Candidates who successfully complete the doctoral degree not only have endured 2 or more years of the most challenging coursework that the university community has to offer, but also have successfully produced and publicly defended a dissertation, which is a lengthy, exhaustive, original piece of research that addresses a topic or set of topics that have not yet been studied before. Successful doctoral candidates in the Haslam College of Business are awarded a Doctor of Philosophy degree in business. This credential signifies that the candidate's original research has improved upon the overall understanding of their intellectual domain and that they are ready to move into a research-oriented role as a qualified expert. Many of our PhD graduates move on from here to become university faculty, much like those they've studied under. Others will choose to work in research roles for governmental agencies or in private industry. Regardless of their destination, what these new members of our academic community all have in common is a thirst for new knowledge and a desire to put forth ideas that will make the business world a better and more responsible place to be in the future. In helping candidates achieve this highest and most commended status in the academy, each student's advisor and doctoral committee members have played critical roles. Throughout the multi-year process of publishing their dissertation, these members have significantly participated in the development and nurturing of the students' technical and theoretical skills. To recognize the generosity of advisors and committee members who give countless hours of their time in mentorship, and to also recognize their importance to the candidate's successful completion of the PhD, these faculty members have been invited to participate in today's ceremony by hooding their graduating students. We will now welcome both the students and their advisors to the stage. Beginning with Stefan Slavov from Veliko Tarnovo, Bulgaria, who will be hooded by Dr. Roy Schmarbeck. Next, Danielle Stanley from Chocowinity, North Carolina, who will receive a PhD in accounting. Her advisor today, Dr. Leanne Luna. Next, receiving a PhD in economics, Richard Huntley Beam, Jr. from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, who will be hooded by Dr. Dawn Bruce. Receiving a PhD in economics, Vesudha Chopra from New Delhi, India. Vesudha will be hooded by Dr. Scott Gilpatrick, the head of the Department of Economics. Receiving a PhD in economics, Boksung Jung from Busan, South Korea. Boksung will be hooded by Dr. Georg Schauer. Receiving a PhD in finance, Moyin Alexandra Zheng from China, who will be hooded by Dr. Matthew Surfling. Receiving the PhD degree in marketing, Tyler Milfeld from Wichita, Kansas, being hooded by Dr. Daniel Flint. Receiving a PhD in strategy, entrepreneurship, and organizations, Jaeyu Jeong from Cheongju, South Korea, being hooded by Dr. Tim Pollock and Dr. Ann Smith. Receiving a PhD in supply chain management, Jade Chu from Jilin, China, being hooded by Dr. Stephanie Eckerd. Receiving a PhD in supply chain management, Chan Huang from Vietnam, being hooded by Dr. John Bell. Receiving a PhD in management science, Wei Jia from China, being hooded by Dr. Bogdan Bacescu and Hailab Hilafu. And receiving a PhD in management science, Fahime Ramanye from Knoxville, Tennessee, being hooded by Dr. Paulo Letizia. Congratulations to the new holders of our Doctorate of Philosophy.
Well, what a wonderful day and what a wonderful ceremony. It's great to gather and honor our graduating students, to feel their excitement and that of you, their family and friends. As many of you will recognize, there's a nationwide motel chain in this country whose commercials once used as their tagline, "We will leave the light on for you." Graduates, please know that we will always leave a light on for you. You will always be in our thoughts. We will always welcome you home to Knoxville and to the Haslam College of Business. We will always count you a member of our UT family. Please, over the years, keep in touch with us. Keep us informed of your professional achievements and your life events. Please remember and draw on what you have learned and what you've experienced while here at UT. Let the way that you conduct your professional and personal life always speak honor and respect to your family, to your faculty mentors, and to your school. I'd like to now invite Joel Brown back to the stage to lead us in the singing of the UT alma mater. The words are in your program. After the singing, please remain seated until after our graduates have exited the auditorium. That then will be your signal to stand and reconnect with your graduates outside of the auditorium. There are many locations here in downtown Knoxville, the area that would make for great graduation photos. Congratulations again to today's graduates. Please enjoy the rest of a wonderful day of celebration. And again, thank you for being here. Joel?